all of you, life is perhaps beginning anew. For some of you, life is continuing as is. And for a lot of you, you perhaps have not yet stopped for just a moment to determine what your future could look like and then put in place the things to be able to achieve the things you'd like to achieve. We have someone who can help us be able to be realistic in our thinking and our planning. It's not too late, nor is it too early for you to make a difference. And so joining me right now is Natalie Golding, who is a corporate leadership and teamwork coach. She's also a therapist. You, Natalie, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Oftentimes we tend, as you heard, the number one is health and wellness.
Yes.
Everyone sets that as a goal. Why do you think it is important for humans to look ahead and have goals?
Okay, that's a big question. I think that if we have a sight, a direction, it gives us motivation. You know, ultimately we're here to serve each other. That's why you're here, why I'm here. We have different ways of doing that. You know, yet I think that if we have a sense of why we're doing that, we have a sense of what I believe our highest level is to serve each other. So then the question is, you know, it's a new year. So how am I going to gather that energy, that enthusiasm to be able to serve and to enjoy this beautiful gift of life? So,
I am in so much agreement with you.
Yes, thank you.
Our purpose is to serve others. That's
Yes.
one. But that requires a consciousness and awareness.
It does.
There's some who struggle with that
Yes,
awareness.
of
and as a
course.
consequence, they're just wafting their way through life and in search of purpose.
Yes.
For those who are struggling for purpose, what would you give to them as advice to begin to be quiet for just a moment to find that purpose?
Well, I think if you look at life at the base level, you talked about health and fitness as being a number one, because that's a base level, that's our environment. And yes, it's a good place to go, because this is our gift. You know, they say, you know, our body is our temple, you know. So being able to take care of your body puts your physiology in a state where you can have energy and you can have enthusiasm. So if you're looking at wanting to find that purpose in life, yes, the purpose is to take care of this. So if you look at the beginning of a year, you know, you're ending a cycle. It's like you end a month, you end a week, but the end of the year, we're all celebrating Happy New Year because it's the end of a big cycle. So it's an opportunity for you to look at your life and you go, well, how can I improve? Because part of being here and serving each other is this concept of evolution, where we continuously are growing. So you look at your body and you go, well, yeah, that's a good place to start. That's something tangible. So how do you find that motivation? It says, you know what, I want to feel better in my life. So yeah, okay, maybe this year I'm going to set a resolution, a goal perhaps, that I'm going to exercise. I'm going to go walking every morning. So I think that's why that comes up as the number one sort of goal to work towards. And how do you get yourself there when you haven't been exercising? Maybe you've been a couch potato. Maybe you've been sitting back and watching way too many Netflixes, right? Because or scrolling, you know. I mean, just time wasting your life, you know. I mean, learning as well. Yeah. So how do you do that? I think it's about raising standards. It's about looking at your life and going, yeah, you know what? This is a gift here. It's a limited time. You know, how did I spend my old years? Taking care of my grandson, right? Also taking care of my 90-year-old mother. This is it, guys. You know, there's a beginning and then there's the end, and it's a life in between. And sometimes when you're really young, you don't really understand, but you get older, you understand. You know, so it's about getting that motivation to realize that we have this limited time, you know, and get up, breathe, take a deep breath in, look out, look at the sunrise, see the beginning of a new year's as motivational. You
say the word time, and I'm so glad you went there, because I wanted also to go there. Because oftentimes we mark time based on a calendar.
Yes.
That tells us you flip the page and hey, you start again.
Yes.
And we miss we have bumps along the way, and so we break down our resolves and we don't manage them as well.
No.
How do you get out of your mind that
Yes.
construct of
Yes.
time,
Yes.
so that you really go the journey?
I think success is a journey, not a destination. So therefore, yes, you put goals out there. But even though you put a goal out there, you set an outcome out there. If you are stuck in, okay, I'm going to go for 1 month or 6 weeks, as you said, February was the drop off. By then I have forgotten. The reason why you've forgotten is, okay, a time-based world is a world that is, I think, focused on the future. When I'm clocking towards that. I'm not saying that it isn't important to set procedure, set a week plan and so forth. And I think that when we move away from time, you move into more of what I would call the feminine aspect of valuing the present moment. The only time we have is the time that we have right now speaking.
Yes.
So even though you put a goal out there in the future, if you live your life just focused on the future, you're not in the present moment. And you have this concept that when I get there, life will be better. Really, life is here, where we are, and the concept of appreciating where we are and who we are in the present moment is probably the most important thing that we have to do. So if you just go like, oh no, I have to be there to be happy, then you're living your life in the future. And what will happen is that the critic is going to come in. And the critic is going to come in and go, well, you're not good enough. And the truth is, it's if you live your life on that triangle of trying to get to the top, even when you get to the top, there'll be another top and there'll be somebody else further up. And so you're always grasping for something and you're never good enough. We have to sit here right now and say, I'm good enough. As I am, even with whatever, 10 pounds heavier, if you go back to that health and fitness goal. And then from there, through loving ourselves and appreciating ourselves, then we can start to target, get down to the fine details. But you have to have this inner purpose of, I'm worth it, and therefore, when I wake up in the morning, you know what, I am going to honor this. So what I eat, what I breathe, what I think, what I do, but this is coming from a higher level. This is coming from a level where you're speaking to your values. People try and make changes in their life at a behavioral level. I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week. Yes, you do need to do that. But what's going to get you into February? What's going to get you into February is your identity, your beliefs, your values. You have to be able to say, you know what, I am a healthy person. I honor this gift of this body. I am honoring the gift of life. So your identity, your values, and therefore because of that, I am important, I'm going to do it. So when I get out there and I go walking, I'm doing that for really a reason that is way higher than the 10 pounds.
Yeah.
The 10 pounds will happen,
You're looking at me, you're probably thinking, why is he smiling?
I mean, tell me why you're smiling. Come on, tell me. I think we're on the same page.
Because you're saying exactly what I'm thinking at the same time as well. And I'm hoping that folks watching are also seeing what we're talking about here.
I hope so.
But being able to qualify and value what we have and who we are to be able to make the next step. For a lot of people, it's extremely difficult because time and space and experiences have shifted their sets of values. How do we get people at the beginning of this year now, today, to be able to really give true meaning to the value of who they are?
You have to, there's an affirmation, I love and approve of myself. I love and approve of myself. You see, the approve of myself, that's the tricky part. We live in a world that is, I have 2 triangles, the upright triangle where you're trying to get to the top, and I have the inverted triangle. So the upright triangle is that, even from a very young age, before you go into what I would call the accomplishment, or you have to accomplish. I mean, the 11 plus is the big accomplishment thing, in our society. Before you go to that sort of mind space, you look at a child, they're very happy. They're happy with who they are. They have a lot of energy. I mean, be around a child and you see, they say children, are the gateway to heaven, right? Because they are in the present moment. They're joyous. They love themselves. Nobody has told them that they're too short, they're too thin, they're too whatever. No. But what happens? Then you move into the pyramid of, I have to get 10 out of 10 in my spelling test. I have to please mom and dad. I have to do this. Oh, so-and-so is better at reading. And you start comparing. And there is where you start to question, well, am I really good enough? Yes, you are good enough. You're good enough. And the questioning of whether I am not well, because life experiences might come in and people around you might come in and tell you you're not good enough. And these are the things that hold us back from being all that we can, because you have not only yourself, but you have external feedback in your life that might be saying. So when you're trying to get that enthusiasm, you've got limiting beliefs, you have limiting experiences that are kind of pulling you back. But what you have to do is recognize that, wait a minute, I am good enough. Everything on this planet is good enough. The flower that blooms this morning is good enough.
And you begin then to build a resolve that says, in spite of what little darts are thrown at me, I am good enough, I'm strong enough, I'm able.
And beautiful enough.
And beautiful enough to do.
Able enough capabilities, a level of capabilities. We all have inherent talents. Of course, if you find that inherent talent, if you're blessed to find that, a lot of us go through life looking for that or can't quite. But we all have inherent talents. And in that inherent talent, you find, oh, this is my gift in life. This is my service in life. And it doesn't have to be anything big. It's just taking whatever you're doing every day and bringing your own little spark to it. Mm-hmm. We all bring something to it. So, loving yourself, allowing yourself to be who you are, that gives you the freedom to take off all the baggage of judgment that might be external or internal. And the internal ones are the one that you have to do self-awareness on, right?
Yes.
So all of that, what we're talking about here is not an easy thing. Yeah, this is why it drops off in February.
Precisely.
Right?
Because, and you're right, the resolve within.
Yes.
Because it's a conscience that we live with,
yes.
and we sleep with, and we walk with, and all of that traps us at times.
Yes.
And it helps us to be able to truly define who we are if we're not careful to manage that very carefully.
Yes.
And you said something I thought was really interesting as well, because oftentimes we think what we're actually giving out is not good enough. It's too small. It's not worthwhile.
Yes.
It's insignificant. And that's not the best way. That's actually, that small little space is the best ways to start.
Yeah, well, I think this, back to this model, right, which is the I model. This is the we model, right? The I model it's about me, I. So you tend to be in a more of a comparative state. You're comparing yourself. Well, unfortunately, we don't compare down, we compare up. So therefore, you're like, oh, well, I'm not quite there. I'm never quite there. If I'm going to play football, oh, you're going to be the next Arsenal pro. There's nothing wrong with having these intentions. Yet at the same time, you want to be able to, maybe, I like how swimmers approach swimming. They compare themselves to their time, not to who is in the lane next door. So it's about improving yourself, but from a place of self-love, of a place of just wanting to experience more in your life. So, it's to get away. Okay, we all for competition, yet competition in itself can pull you back from being the best you. Because you're saying, oh, but I'm never quite going to be there. Or, I'm not good enough unless I have this, or I've done that, or and these external markers. So I go to the upside down triangle. That's where it's at. Because the upside down triangle is the yin aspect of we. That we are here. It's not about I. It's not about how fast I am. It's about what am I bringing. And when you start to come from that level and just love yourself and why you are here, then I think you can relax. I think most of us are stressed. Most of us are in our sympathetic nervous system trying to get to the top, exhausted by trying to get to the top. And maybe not thinking about others along the way. The we concept is you get to the top, I get to the top, the planet gets to the top, everybody gets to the top. We're happy, we're joyful, we're codependent, we are cooperative, we're collaborative. And this is when I work in organizations, because as much as you put private life, professional life, it has to be the entire. When I work in organizations, it's the same thing. People are coming to work. They want to be able to see that their job is a collaborative. Not a I, me, getting to the me, my, more, and mine concept, right?
We're talking with you. We're working this out with you as well. How do we use the time we have to be better as self? And then how do we all together benefit from what each of us has to offer to the overall goal? But how do we start? I know you're asking yourself, because you feel this. You feel as though you are hearing what Natalie is saying, and you're thinking, but I want to take that action from today. How do I begin to do so? Natalie, how do we begin to do so?
Right. So, well, like I said, You know, even affirmation, you look in the mirror, I love and approve of myself. That I'm starting there, okay? And then it is, you know, being able to ask, you see, there's a concept of asking yourself the right questions in your mind to get you moving. Well, without a doubt, your motion creates your emotion.
Yes.
So if you want to sort of kickstart the year or kickstart the day, there's no question about it that physical movement will change your state of mind. So the first step I would say, and physical movement, let's just take it down to the first basic concept of physical movement, breath.
Yes.
Get up in the morning, take a deep breath. Let's do that right now. Breathe in. And then out through the mouth. You see, out through the mouth, that's release. All the tension, all the whatever, 3 o'clock in the morning, up going ba, 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 ba in your mind. Not getting the physical rest because you need energy in life. And you have to, so this is concept of self-awareness. But at the same time, if you want to get down to the sort of basic things, then you got to face, what can you do to help your physiology? So take a deep breath, like right now, breathe in. Everybody, you, breathe in. Out through the mouth. Why out through the mouth? Out through the mouth just takes your entire nervous system. So all that tension, just simple breath, folks. Yes. You're at your desk. How am I going to feel more energized and happy in my life and moving towards my goal? Breathe. Right now, deep breath. The breath is the inhalation of energy. The exhalation is the let go. So my son, when I asked about motivation with goals, and he said, you know, set your goals. When I asked my mother, 90, she said, let go. Look at the beauty of that. Wow. So what is the exhalation? Let go. Let go of your pains. Let go of your... It could be a physical pain. It could be a back pain. It could be a mental pain. It could be problems surrounding you. And breathe in the air. Breathe in the gift of life. And then from there, my invitation to you is to get moving. Now, that might be that you're going to just stand up right now. Stand up. Stretch. Move your body. Shake it out. You know, and then you go, oh yeah, no, I'm feeling a little better. Well, maybe I could go for a little walk down the street. Heck, you know, wear those, do I still have those running shoes? And if not, pick up some slippers, whatever. Yeah, get out there, walk outside, look at the trees, and let's keep some trees on this planet, on this island, because we're going concrete. We got to stop that. Get out there, look, listen to the birds, walk. Yeah. Just a little bit.
Do something.
Do something. Instead of going, oh no, I got to do 3 kilometers, I got to do 10 kilometers. Oh no, I got to do half a marathon. You know?
Yeah. Okay. In other words, be very intentional and specific in what
Well, that's my son. That was my son. Yes. Be specific. Come on, set a goal. You're going to go 15 minutes. My mother?
Just let go.
Let go. Isn't that beautiful?
Time has no
It's called
boundary.
The polarity of life. And we have to learn to manage that. Because if you get too much in the, you know, I got to set goals, I got to set this, I got to do this, I got to do this, you put pressure on yourself.
Nothing gets done.
Well, not only that, if it doesn't get done according to what you put down on that piece of paper, you sort of feel like, oh my God, there I go, I failed again. Oh God, I failed again. I let myself down. You see, you can't stick to anything and blah, 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 blah. And then you start beating yourself up. No, you don't. But you have to do that too. And then you have to also let go. And the let go gives you the space to be still, to be calm, to enjoy the birds, to go for your walk and not necessarily be listening only on, you know, what's the next track, what's the next strategy for success, but also the simple things, you know.
But life is complex.
It is, it's a balance.
And it's complex based upon spaces as well.
Yes.
Work,
yes.
home, relationships, people, everything. It's all of that.
Yes.
How do we balance all of that so that we can breathe,
yes,
and stay true to sense of purpose? Because work in itself for a lot of people is a difficult space to be in.
Well, you know, this is my main work, is that I work in organizations because, let's face it, guys. I mean, as far as relationships go, you can have a relationship with somebody and you go, well, you know, we had a good time. I think maybe, you know, roads will part here because, you know, it's not working anymore. And it might have been causing conflict, it might have been causing stress in your life, but you could say, you know, goodbye, thank you very much, right? Move on. Work is a different thing. Work is your profession. This is your livelihood. It's not that you can just go, oh my gosh, you know what? I don't like my work anymore. I'm done. I fire into work. You have to go to work And there will be people that are there in your work. And see, I'm a relational intelligence coach. I am going to speak about the importance of having rapport. First with yourself, which is what we were talking about, right? And then with others. When you go to work, it now involves others. It's not just a task. A lot of people think work is a task. You just do the task. They're not realizing that people are part of the task. If you don't have good relationships at work, you're going to have conflict, you're going to have stress, and all of that is going to affect whether your goals are going to happen or not happen, because you're not going to be switched on, you're going to be feeling negative, you're not going to be engaged. So work is so crucially important in attaining not only organizational goals or professional goals, but personal goals. So at work, you know, you have to be able to maintain relationships with people who you may not want to be in a relationship with. And there is a lesson in life. Because the upside down triangle is the we. This is the I. This is what I want. But the we is that here I am in a group, and maybe there are some people that I am not getting along with. But the lesson for us is to learn how to get along and to understand the different perspectives that everybody brings to the workplace. And that, it's not easy, but it is why we're there. That is why we're there. So in the workplace, when we come in, and I hope for you all, do it. Because I've been in organizations that people, they're in the same office. What, 15 years and not talking to each other? What kind of environment is that you're putting your body in every day? No. Well, I'm not talking to that person because this and the past and this and that. And I go, hello. You want to be happy? You want to be healthy? You want to have a life that you can say you've enjoyed? Well, then start cleaning up your relationships. Start looking to not only love myself, but to love others and love who has been placed in that office with you, because they've been placed in there for a reason. So part of my work in organizations is about respecting each other. And this is the upside down triangle that is coming in, right? The whole concept of diversity, inclusion, equality. You know, this is what the youth is bringing in. They've been judged, the millennials and the young. Say, oh my gosh, but what they're basically saying is respect all. That's the upside down triangle. So to me, you know, work is an opportunity, it is an environment. It is an environment that you got to walk into every day. And how you behave, yes, be switched on, go and walk. You know, the lady that was on the last talk, you know, I could see that she looks at life from a sense of gratitude. Beautiful. Walk in with that and be grateful. You know, gratitude is probably one of the most important things to work towards, say, goals.
Yes.
You know, start from gratitude. Gratitude that we are sitting here right now breathing. Gratitude that you have a job. Gratitude even for the people who are challenging you. You know, try and go like, what's going on in their life? Try and step into their shoes. Try and go into the we a little bit in our lives. There's so much, you know, so much I think that we create this I. You know, I. This is what I want. This is who I am. I'm important. We are important. You know, nobody goes out of their way to be intentionally, you know, difficult or bad. You know, there are reasons why people do what they do, right? Let's have a little compassion, right?
Then we're knocked down and we have to get back up again.
We got to get back up.
That's for a lot of people, though, it's a very difficult thing to do, because you feel, again, judged, valued differently, and hurt.
Yes.
And that pain sometimes can cause you to just want to lie down, walk away from all of those things.
That's right. And I'm going to tell you, those drop downs, those hard times, you know, it sounds so cliche, right? But that's what builds you. You know, this concept of positive thinking, you know, oh, everything's possible, it's a great world, it's a great world. Yes, it is a great world. A part of it, because of the polarity of life is going to go up and it's going to go down, and that's how you look at nature, right? Look at even the seasons.
Yes.
You know, there's life, there's birth, there's spring, there's summer, there's fall, there's winter. You know, oh, I don't want winter, I don't want old age, I don't want sickness, I don't want this, hello. This is life. So when you are in the down, sometimes that is the richest, you know, they say the dark night of the soul.
Yes.
You know, this is a time when you have to go in and you have to find your truth. And when you come out and you've been in that vulnerable place, and when somebody tells you, I can't do this, instead of just going positive thinking, of course you can do it. Yes, you can do it. Yes, you can do it. Sometimes you got to sit down next to that person, hold their hand and go, jeez, man, I can't even tell you I know how you feel.
Yeah.
But I can just stand here and sit here next to you, hold your hand and tell you I love you, no matter what. And when you tell you can't, it's okay. You can't, it's okay. I got you, brother, I got you, sister. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, and so we have to, and sometimes it's hard to get there if you haven't been there.
Yes.
If you haven't been knocked down, it's very easy for you to just stand up there with the youth and go, well, of course you can count it. Yes, you can do it. Overcome your obstacles, push through. But you got to get down there every now and then in life. And when you get down, then you know what it feels like to be humble. You know what it feels like to be weak. You know what it feels like to feel like, I don't even know if I can get past the next hour. Then when somebody comes to you, you sit there with empathy and compassion and love. What do you think?
Breathe, breathe, everybody.
Breathe, right?
Because
So,
I know you're thinking to yourself, I hear you, Natalie.
Yes.
Because I can't stand that. I can't
That's
stand,
right.
say it like a Bajan, can't
Yes.
stand she. I
That's
can't
right.
stand he.
That's right.
And so
Yes.
when you breathe and you get past and you see the we and see that that's just another human being.
And it's not just another. That is us. We are one.
Yes.
That is who I am. They are me. I am them. You see, you change your identity. This is the I identity. This is the we identity. So when somebody is suffering, they are part of you. They would not be in your life if they weren't part of you. You know?
Right.
And as difficult as that is, because I know people have been hurt, you know, in very, very deep ways. You know, and then we talk about forgiveness. But it's not about shame. It's not about judgment. You know, it's about humility.
Yeah. And a lot of you've been talking about with us so far, it has no boundary of time, really,
No,
at the end of it.
there's no
no
time.
time that says within the next 12 months, XYZ must happen. It's a journey. It's a journey of change. And so as we consider now at the beginning of this year, what we call resolutions.
Yes.
And we set ourselves these targets and these goals, we're saying, no, dispel yourself of that.
Yeah.
Focus on why, your purpose.
That's right.
And the purpose for others around you as well. And if you just simply do that moment by moment, day by day, and live in the present,
Absolutely.
then everything that you want to achieve is achievable.
And then there is, yes, I agree with you. And then, you see, this is a polarity. So there's the present moment, and then there is, yes, put a carrot out there. You know, put a focus out there. Give your mind something, because the mind is a very tricky thing.
Yes, it is.
It's going all over the place. So if you kind of say, no, I'm going to bring this mind in, I'm going to give it a focus. I'm going to give it a direction, you know. So then you have something that kind of, when the brain wants to go off, so there's this balance of being in the present moment and then also being able to understand and utilize your mind to be able to go, yeah, I'm going to put a target there. I'm going to have an intention. Energy follows attention. So if you have an intention, you know, that this, I want to be fit, you know. So therefore you start the track, you let go, you love yourself, and then you set it out there and you start moving towards it. And if you're not getting where you want to go, now we talk about capabilities. Then you look at, who can I ask? You see, for me, I work in organizations to come in to teach how to communicate properly, how to manage your mind. This is not something that you just get. You know, there is a science behind it. So the science behind exercising. If you go to a personal trainer, they have studied that. They'll help you. So we're looking for, give it to me all. But we're talking about a very big thing here. And the first step is you, as you just said, having that purpose, loving yourself, being in the present moment, and then also tracking yourself on the right side, which is the more masculine side of, you know, setting up a goal, setting up a procedure, setting up a plan, you know, and getting people around you who know what they're talking about as well, right? Getting the advice in the direction that will help you to get there and so forth. So it's a beautiful balance.
I love the concept of change. Change requires,
Yes.
if you want to change, you need to shift where you are.
Yes.
You can't stay where you are in hoping that you'll get to where you want to be.
No.
Change requires you to change your circumstances and move from where you are. So surrounding yourself with those who can help you achieve is important. It doesn't mean being selfish. I don't think it means or being a user. And that's the thing I think we should all resolve ourselves in this year not to do, to use people.
Yes.
But to encourage people to work together with us.
Yeah, collaboration instead of competition. Using people is like, I'm trying to get here, and it's the old-fashioned way of looking at business. Well, it's business, you know. So I'll just drop all my values aside, you know. So it's, you know, we are here together, and you talk about change. change, the only thing about change is you cannot not change.
Precisely.
You see?
Precisely. I want you to look at the screen here. You see,
Yeah.
one of our commenters said this conversation is so powerful.
Ooh,
Wow.
yes. Woo!
Bako, thank you
Yes.
so very much indeed.
I love it.
And that's
Yes.
what it's about, a shift
Yes.
in self. When we
Yes.
set about to resolve to do different things, yes, we can say we want to build muscles this time around by March. I want to be
Yes.
competing in whatever.
That's right.
Or we can set those kinds of goals for ourselves. But when you stop for just a moment to fix you, I think that's your biggest resolve to be able to do this year.
Yeah.
That's one big thing to be able to do. That's my big thing. What would be you for your big
Yes.
thing for
Yes.
us to be able to do this year, Natalie?
Okay. Well, first of all, you know, I mean, there's so many ways of looking at things. I think of things like carrots and sticks, right? So carrots is, if you imagine the donkey, you want the donkey to move. Is it going to move towards a carrot? Or is it like, oh my gosh, I don't want to get that whip? You know, and the whip is sort of like, okay, what's the cost I'm going to pay in my life if I don't, as you said, fix myself, if I don't, get better, and both work very well. In fact, a lot of people get into exercise programs because they go to the doctor and they say, if you don't start doing this, and you go, oh, you see this future of drugs, heart
Yes.
attack, stroke, blah, blah. Oh, I better wear
Yes.
those shoes, and you're motivated by pain. Now, motivation by pain, yes, yet motivation by pain is a heavy motivation. It's a fearful motivation. So you use it if you need to. Of course, we use it, right? That's how we motivate people sometimes. But the carrot one, that one is much more uplifting. This one is not, I don't have to fix myself. I love myself. I love myself so much that I am going to, make use of this limited time I have in my life to grow. And part of that growth is to, okay, I'm going to look at my fitness. Okay, this year, I'm going to choose foods that are live, real foods, foods that have come from Mother Nature. Okay, now I can look at the food and my body. Yeah, this body, if I don't move it, it doesn't have energy. So I'm going to look at walking and exercising. And maybe the body is a bigger chunk on your foundation, so then you might, look at fitness at another level. But you look at your relationships. You look at your spiritual life. You look at your family and your friends and all these foundations in life that all require attention, but all bring a foundation that no matter what happens in your life becomes full because you're valuing. It's back to that we.
Yes.
Right? But I put other things underneath that we as well.
Natalie Golding, boy, you've been powerful, as Bako said indeed, but I thank you so much again for inspiring us
yes.
at the start of this year to really begin to look at the self and the we at the same time and to realize that life has both sides. Plan it, sometimes you just got to give it up. Take a breath between all of that and live your life to the best that you can. Thank you so very much indeed for joining us.
It's been indeed a pleasure.
Natalie Golding, a corporate leadership and teamwork coach and a therapist who helped us begin to think differently. And I'm hoping that in thinking differently, that you begin now to really consciously look at what it is that you can intentionally do to become a better you, to create a better space within which you live and work, and to become a better member of this society as we all work together to make the change we're all hoping to achieve.
Morning, morning, morning.